before. I've done it many times before, and what I'll do is I'll just put something over your part of your screen.
I'll send you a pic.
Oh God, I don't think I'm allowed to upload penises to YouTube.
I was gonna send you gay porn.
Just two men gently kissing. That would actually be more disturb. I just farted. Should I intro the episode? I should probably intro the episode. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 121. 121 of CONSERVATISH. My name is Peter Edgar Feliciano, and I am your host. You can find me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano. You can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/conservatish. You can support that there, as well as Venmo at Peter-Feliciano, Feliciano. Make sure you go right now, wherever you're listening. Make sure you go bookmark this page, subscribe, rate it, review, hit the like button, hit the bell, do whatever the fuck you need to do so that you see this shit every Monday. There's a new episode. And ladies and gentlemen, also go watch the Cats review. It's finally up. Mike Harlow and I went to go watch Cats, and we reviewed it live and made fun of it and made fun of it, and it was really disturbing and wonderful, and we had a blast. So you should go enjoy that video. It's a short one. It's like 25 minutes or something, and it's us just making fun of stupid fat gays. I don't know why I said stupid fat gays.
They're not fat.
No, what's his face is fat. Corden, James Corden. Anyway, so our guest today is Jake. I think this is your fourth time on the show, isn't it, Jake?
Am I a guest?
Yeah.
Or an invader?
No, you're my sweet boy, and I
love you too.
I love having you on.
I love you too.
Aww. The good girl, wherever she is going, aww.
It is an awe moment. It's an awe thing.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. How are you, sir? All the way the fuck out in California. I know we're very careful whenever you're on not to share your actual identity, even though a lot of my friends and family who listen to the show know who the fuck you are.
Of course. I'm just, I just live in a place, right? I just don't need any extra drama.
Right.
That's all. I mean, if I lived anywhere else, honestly, even if I was still living in, let's say, San Diego or something, I wouldn't give a shit. But just around here, I don't need weirdos. I'm good. I got enough weird shit,
Right. Because another thing is too, just to be, can I be real with you?
I want you to be real with me, bro.
Sweet, bro. One of the things
I want you to beat the motherfucking dick like a plumber chick.
What? One of the weirder things about this show, obviously, when I'm on, like, I'm putting myself all the way out there. I'm saying some foul, horrible jokes. I say nigger, I say faggot, I say horrible things, and people get mad. But when you come on the show, I do have a certain amount of extra. I don't get like a lot of angry emails or anything, but I can just, although if you did
feel they're holding it back, right?
Dude.
I've had. It's like subtext.
Because when I'll have
this guest you had on,
like the last guest that I had on last week's episode was just me by myself. And then the week before though was Dan Dillinger. We didn't talk about politics really at all. We just literally just talked about music, and he's a rapper, and it was a lot of fun. Good dude.
It's the most important stuff, music.
Right. So I'll have people who now listen to this show because they liked Dan's episode, and then immediately get turned off because of the shit.
Right.
All I'm saying is you're, and I love you to death, and I'm so happy that you're on the show. But you are a shift of gears sometimes. That's all.
I've been. I want to leave a deep, deep mark in life. That's my goal. So.
Yes, sir.
All the regrets along the way. It's okay. If people get mad, cry to your mama. All right.
Chopping the bushes with a red beam.
Oh
You
yeah, dude.
you done wrong off with the wrong dope. Mini
14 got a long flow.
flow.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's such a great fucking beat.
Oh, dude.
Bitch Please by Big Scoob and and fucking E40 and shit. San Quinn.
No, it's not San Quinn. It's that.
Be real? No, Be Legit.
Be Legit. It's Be Legit. I couldn't remember his name because it's all really dumb, but
it absolutely is. It's his, especially Be Legit's verse is like, what the fuck are you even doing here, dude?
he's talking about something about like in that same song, like like basically like super hard gangster, but like yeah, you can always find me at that one diner, like I'm just eating food, like I forget the exact lyrics, but it's just like, okay, bro, that's dope.
You know what it feels like, and I haven't heard any of Be Legit's other shit, but it feels like he got paid least out of the three of them, and so he's not good. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like there are some rappers who you can tell they came because they got a small stipend, and because of that small stipend, they're like gracing you with just their presence, but they don't have to bring any talent or creativity. They just
they're saving their best flows for right.
For right. At least in 40, like what's that song he did with Big Sean? I don't fuck with you.
Dude,
at
that
least
song's so good.
It's so good. At least with that, like he brought it. E40 brought it for sure. Can I think of a song where E40 didn't bring it?
A couple of his own.
You know what I will say? The earlier shit doesn't grab me. You know what I mean? Like the earlier shit, like Sprinkle Me is pretty good, but you know what I mean? Like, God, there's a lot of that, like,
oh my God,
there's a lot of that Mac Dre type of shit. Like I respect
my roommate.
Kind of there.
Sorry.
Oh, hello.
He brought me pizza. How you doing? Look at that.
Oh, very nice.
I'm gonna eat while we do this. I apologize. Ooh, is this one mine?
Yours is the special one.
Thank you, dude. This one?
The special kid one. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, you can edit that out. Okay, I'm gonna run upstairs.
Not edit that out. What kind of pizza did you get, you piece of shit?
Dude, like whatever we could shove in our face after moving a million, some heavy, some not heavy, cumbersome, items. Yeah, look at me. I'm a real boy now. Look at this. It's very dim because I haven't set it, but I got a couch. My nigga got my nigga front of me. You the reason I'm right.
You're in the new crib, son.
I'm in the new crib, son, dude.
Well, the members, the fans of CONSERVATISH are happy for you.
Yeah. Actually, I bet you they're not. I bet you they're hating. Like little bitches. Actually,
bunch of Be Legit fans. Like, he's my favorite. Some rappers, like, you know what? First official offensive line of the day. Just because a rapper dies doesn't mean he's talented. Can we be fucking real? XXXTentacion was like great. Suck my dick.
No, whatever. I don't like any of this shit. Sorry.
Yeah,
this could be my office. This is my closet, and I was like, this is not a closet. This is a room. This is a residence. You could put a mailbox on this fucking thing.
That's awesome, dude. Look at you. And if you don't mind me talking about it real quick, you're on the south side. Sweep it off if you want me to. Like,
yeah, I'm a Southsider now, dude.
Dude, I fucking love the south side of San Jose. I fucking love the south side of San Jose. Homie from episode 4, Bridget, is from down there. Big love, dude. I love that fucking.
Oh fuck.
Are you farting?
Kind of ghetto right now. Sorry, hold up. My shit's all fucked up, bro.
Mini 14 got long What are you doing right now?
I'm making a makeshift table with my fizzy
Always,
water.
why do you always have? God damn it! The people won't see it. But why do you always have those fucking like 18 packs of fizzy water? I'm gonna beat you in your ears.
Hey, listen.
I'm gonna scoop out your eyes with a melon baller.
Men in this world, in this day, have, very few things that they can say, I'm going to fucking do whatever I want in this area that are low consequence. And that's... Listen, no, that's one of many. But, I mean, having some fizzy waters around to just crack open and chug without carrying a bunch of enormous water bottles. I mean, I always have one like in my work truck. But having a flat of fizzy water to just grab and walk around with a little fizzy water, it's just a small little
you gave me some brand when we met up before I moved. You gave me some brand that was disgusting. What's the name of that fucking brand?
Some people do not like that. Was it the one with the fruit juice in it?
It literally is white and blue. That's the only thing.
Oh, yeah. I gave you one of those lemons. You either love those or hate them. I like them because I like my shit kind of bitter and sharp. It reflects my soul. And that's a Spindrift. Those are stupid expensive. People either love them or hate them. Like, I love them. The lemons, the grapefruit.
It almost tasted like coconut water, which is disgusting.
Really? Maybe that was some other shit. Maybe I just had some random shit I handed you. I don't really remember, dude.
I think I just wanted to throw in coconut water down the road, too, because I hate that shit.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
But it's good to make poop shakes with.
What do you mean?
Like, you could use water or coconut water. So if you're making a poop shake, like, you got like some broccoli, spinach, kale. I mean, just think of the most heinous shit you can, right? Celery, fiber, okay, right? Hard shit. And then you put that in a blender. You put like a little bit of banana, strawberry, whatever, just to make it drinkable, just for the flavor. I slap a little Greek yogurt and coconut water in there, and you're juicing, dude. You're ready to. You're the next morning. I mean, just that you're gonna empty. You're gonna release everything inside of you. You can't do that all the time. It's dangerous. But every few months, chug a whole blender of that.
So why don't I think I should look up alternative, because sometimes I'll use Miralax. Not often. Just kind of clear things out. And maybe it's not that healthy.
I mean, if you can get it done with a bunch of vegetables and natural fibers, just overloading your body where your body's like, oh my God, get this shit out of me right now. It's probably a little better. Get a little micronutrients in you, shit like that. Still not good to do all the time. Actually, even like natural stuff, people that are like super into juicing, I'm like, you're not supposed to like over fucking nutrient and get your body to adapt to having like all this shit in it, and then like, anyway, somebody broke it down to me that was way smarter than me on like metabolisms and shit.
Right.
I can't, I'm my brain is not in a space to explain it or even remember the details, but I was like, that makes sense. You don't want to just put too much of anything's not a good thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so in moderation, a poop shake will do the body good.
What's the main ingredient that makes it poopy?
Personally, I think it's the celery, dude.
Celery is poopy?
I think it's the celery. It's a lot of like insoluble fibers and shit that like don't really. Yeah, it just starts like a mild scrubbing process. Consult your physician. This is not medical advice. If you have like diverticulitis or some sort of like gastrointestinal problem where you're not supposed to have a bunch of insoluble fiber, like maybe don't listen.
Don't ever use the word insoluble on my fucking show ever again. Insoluble. This is one of those episodes where it's like, why do people let me do this? Like, why? People pay. People
I don't think
show
I
up
don't think
on my Patreon
I
to
think
like
there's
support
more-
me.
I do, and I think they're the best. But here's the thing: I think there's more people that would rather you didn't do this than did. So, but if you know what,
Touché.
Fuck them though.
No, I'm having a blast doing it. Yeah, I mean, my listens go up and down. My, you know, I've had some amazing guests on, and you know, then it'll spike, and then it'll kind of go down, and then like
When,
you know, on the solo episodes, I find that I have, I think, the least listens.
when
But
Mercury is in retrograde, you get a lot of nasty emails from the female listeners.
no, dude. In fact, I've never really. The only negative comments I get are from are through Instagram, some on Facebook, but not really about my show. Yeah, mostly Instagram. Peter_Feliciano, by the way.
Dude,
but,
you're the master of the plug now. I like it.
Well, I fucking daddy gotta make money, son.
Dude, your plug game is strong, bro.
Right. But part of that is the fact that like, you know, I think I mean I get a little bit of fighting on my YouTube comments, but nothing crazy. I think it's because people know that I'm joking most of the time. And even when I'm yelling, like last week's episode was a lot of yelling, and it was because I was detoxing from nicotine.
How's that
So,
going?
I went 4.5 days.
Dude, that's a stretch. You're like right at the line.
I was right at the fucking line. But I'm also going through a lot of stuff right now. So I'm not, some stuff I won't necessarily talk about on the show. I know everybody. Why won't you that? Because fuck you. I literally talk about incest porn. I say the N-word for you. I do amazing things for you. I'm not going to share a couple of things.
But Pete, what's really going on?
But Pete,
what's really going
on? Mostly just health stuff that we could talk about afterwards. But
dang.
Not dying or anything. No growths on the testicles. But
Killer.
yeah. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll talk about it. It's not that big a deal. I've got some other stuff that I'm going through I won't talk about. But this one I'll talk about. I had hernia surgery 2 years ago. And actually I may have already mentioned this in passing. But I had hernia surgery two years ago, and I started feeling pain in that area about 3 weeks ago. And you know, I'm a server at a restaurant, so I couldn't really lift heavy shit, and I was just like, you know what, this is not good. I rested at work, called off work a couple of days, so I rested at home, and then still wasn't really getting. I mean, it wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable, and I could feel myself like, if this is a hernia, I'm gonna hurt myself. So I went to the ER, and they did a ultrasound of my testes and the inguinal canal. Do you know what the inguinal canal is?
I forget. It's the thing that goes from up in the glands down to your junk, right?
Yes, it's where when you're born, your testicles are up inside your stomach, and then before you're born, the testes come through the inguinal tubes and into your sac.
Right. And then those tubes still are like connected to some other
junk,
right? They're not like
that's
empty.
where I think actually that's where the stuff comes through.
Yeah, those other glands. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a tether ball that you push through a piece of pasta.
That for some reason I felt a little tug in my pants when you described it like that. I got a tingle going.
I know.
That sounds oddly sexually satisfying.
Yeah. It makes that noise. So they tested my testes, no growths. They tested the inguinal canal. There's no hernia. And then I went to CAT scan in order test the mesh around the area where they did the surgery to see if maybe there was something wrong there. Nothing wrong there. Blood work came back fine. Urine came back fine. So they just said they don't know what the fuck it is, and I should follow up with the surgeon. So I'm going to follow up with the surgeon. It's not painful, but I took off a week of work to try to give myself some rest, and then I went back to work the other day, and I'm like, fuck it, I need to make money. I'll be fine. I'll be a little uncomfortable, but I'll be fine. And then like an hour into work, I just felt like awful. I just felt this. It wasn't a discomfort. It was like a pain and just like, some sharp pains and stuff. And I'm just like, all right, I can't do this job. So, yeah, more to be revealed. But
That's
at the
rough.
very least, yeah, I mean, I just wish I knew what the fuck it was. Like when he told me they didn't find anything, although I was relieved, I was also like, well, what the fuck is it? I just spent 9 hours here, you cocksucker.
Did they even tell you if it was like just an inflammatory strain thing, like a pain, or if there's like this pain you were experiencing was actual damage due to the signals? I know you can't actually judge anything. Actually, I shouldn't even ask that. It's dumb. Apparently, as doctors, they can't actually judge anything by pain. That's just like a signal your brain gives. They're like, I don't fucking know. You might have nothing wrong with you and just hurt. I don't know.
Here's the thing. I may have nothing wrong with me, and the nerve is starting to wake up after 2 fucking years. I have no idea. It may be connected to back pain, which makes sense because of not just working as a restaurant server, but also fluctuating in weight, and also this 2009 Honda Civic is the worst, and I drive, the seat is horrendous, and I drive an hour and a half one way to work.
Right.
And also, my sleeping area is not as comfortable as it needs to be. So like, it's a bunch of factors. So it may be back pain where the muscle is wrapping around the blah, blah, blah. But I'm trying everything. Like I'm figuring, go to the surgeon on the 28th, who normally does hernia surgeries, and see what he says. And then also,
where specifically is the pain? Is it like right in your groin?
It's kind of everywhere. Not everywhere. Let me rephrase that. It's in the inguinal canal. Like I can tell, like it's in that same area, which is why I remember the fucking weirdness, the weird, uncomfortable kind of. It wasn't like pain, but it was like something like a pressure and a weirdness, inflammation. And
have you been visited by any UFOs recently?
They did pound my ass. So maybe
that's different. That's different. They didn't cut open your stuff.
It's in my inguinal, and it's also my left ball. My left ball. Like, hey, there's no growth on it. They fucking tested it. I tested it. But like when it's bad, like it was at the surgery day, I just feel like my left. All the men who are listening, cover your ears. I feel like my sack like came apart, and like my left one is just dangling. Like it just feels like it just feels like a pain, like a pressure, like like my sack doesn't hurt. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't actually feel that way, but it feels like someone's pulling on, not pulling, but like, you know what I'm saying? My left ball is not being supported. That's what it fucking feels like. So.
Well, that's terrible, dude. I'm sorry.
But I mean, when I'm not working, it feels fine. Every once a day, I'll feel like a little like pressure, and I'll feel like some uncomfortability.
Maybe it does have something to do with not like a muscle wrapped around, but just strain in that general area of just because you're driving a lot, little hip muscles, little lower back muscles, all the little things that connect all the way from your knee up around your bum, and all those little muscles.
Right.
Well, I'm sure anybody that's like a physician or really into like working out, it's like, you're a fucking idiot. They're called this. Listen, I don't remember what they're all called. I know it wouldn't be your piriformis, but whatever those other little ones are on the inside close to there, if that's really strained, that could be messing it up. I don't know.
Right. I have a friend who's a so besides that surgery follow-up, I'm also going to go to a clinic on Tuesday, and that sliding scale, and also I'm gonna fucking follow up with a friend who does acupuncture. So
Are you taking any just like general like little ibuprofen doses? Try to
ooh, the doctor was mad at me.
why?
Because I told him how much I actually like took, like as far as ibuprofen goes at the time. For like years. I'm just telling this is an honest show. This is Conservatish with Peter fucking Feliciano, you cocksuckers.
Right, vitamin I, bro. Vitamin
Dude,
I.
I would take 5 at a time. Like
Oh yeah.
every, like if I was really sick, 5 at a time, like every like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good. And this is years.
I do that
but
too. I try to not take any ibuprofen for like a few months spread throughout the year though, to like not, I have little aches and pains and hurts.
My liver isn't dying at the moment. My stomach isn't dying at the moment. So there you go.
Right.
It's just like it's like a low, very low, like kind of like, it's not pain, but it's definitely uncomfortable.
Oh damn. I hope that clears up. I hope you don't need any more. I hope there is nothing wrong and you don't need any more surgery and it's just pain and strain. I hope you recover from it, man. Because going under the knife again and all that's pretty whack.
Yeah. Have you had surgery before?
Never surgery, but every time I've had anything cut or stitched, it's really annoying. So, I had this.
Like,
what's that?
It was my only surgery so far, and it was, body surgery. It's not like, I mean, it's a small incision, like it's not that big a deal, but still, like your muscles are, like when you try to like walking for the first like 4 days after the surgery, walking to the bathroom, trying to take a shit. Trying to take a shit after hernia surgery is hard, fucker. Fuck that.
You're like, I'll take 2 hemorrhoids all day. No problem.
Dude, just fucking put an auger in my ass and clean my shit Will, my brother Will, the plumber, knows what that is too. I'm sure he's actually. I was gonna say I'm sure he knows. He's laughing and he knows what it is, but I'm sure he's done that before. I'm sure my brother Will has taken an auger, the business end, and put it up his ass and flisted it around.
I can't tell if that's disrespectful or a compliment, but I'm gonna call it a compliment to your brother.
Yeah, I would say.
It takes a man.
It's just more. It takes a man.
It takes a real man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. He's a man. God damn it!
Business.
God damn it! This is America. Take an auger and stick it up your ass. Fucking
He's
communist.
a working man who handles business. Okay.
There's a song that should be like a BJ and the Bear type of song, or like a Davy Crockett type of song that talks about my brother Will throughout, like, and it's normal, and then the fourth line of the verse is, and he sticks an auger up his ass because that's the American way. We just went on an auger up the ass of my brother kick for like 2 minutes there. God damn.
Really?
I'm proud of us.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm in this weird in between place where I'm like, I'm half ghetto and I'm half fancy. I'm so used to being like the male equivalent of like a lot lizard in life.
Because you suck truck drivers' dicks?
No. But yeah, well, that 1 year.
Just reporting the facts.
Yeah, it's I don't know, just used to being, hanging out in parking lots, living in some room with all my shit stacked in a corner and having a storage space and all this kind of stuff. I'm very not. I've had a couple nice places before. Don't get me wrong. My place in San Diego was kind of looked like a rat hole, but whatever. It was my rat hole, and it was all organized and shit. But like, yeah, right now I'm like, I got a pizza box, a mismatched nightstand, and a box of fizzy water, my phone charger on the floor. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, moving is fun. Moving is fun.
Yeah, I spent some dough because I was like, you know what? I'm 33 years old.
Right.
Getting there, I was like, listen, I have fucking not like, oh, I've paid so many dues, or like I'm not trying to take it that far, dear listeners, but I'm 33 years old. I've done some things. I've put in work. I've bought and sold 2 properties. I've owned a business. I was at the job I was at before that for 10 years. I did all the things, you know, and I was like, all right, Papa Jake is buying a fucking bed frame now. After all that, Papa Jake gets a bed frame and a dresser because I have not.
What about? Yeah, dude, the box spring is a big adult purchase.
Oh. Well, I got the frame and a bunkie board because I got a couple drawers under the bed to try to keep it real
Nice.
You know, try to keep it
feng shui.
Yeah, you know.
I know how to be.
I bought the ugliest recliner I could find in the store on accident because I was like, oh, that one looks terrible. It looks like Married with Children, Al Bundy kind of thing. Yeah, and I was like,
oh, it looks like it's green and corduroy.
It's corduroy,
Remember those?
but it's corduroy, but it's not green. But I was just like, that looks like it'd be the most comfortable. And I pulled it out and I sat in it. And I was like, it's like way more expensive, the ones that look way nicer. And I was just like, yeah, that'll be the one I'm buying. That recliner, the Al Bundy grandpa chair, that's the one I'm buying.
Right. You're already. I mean, every time I hang out with you, you have your hands in your pants. So that makes sense.
It's a natural. It looks like my hands in my pants. It's just rubbing my tummy. I don't know. Like I
don't remember that show very well. I never really watched it very much. But am I crazy to think there was sexual tension between the brother and the sister? Like
no. Yeah, that was like he was always trying to like, I feel like he was trying to one up her to like get her to be like, wow, my brother's actually cool and hot. I don't even know if it was sexual as much as validation.
Okay.
But yeah, I hear you.
You think Christina Applegate rims? She probably rims men, right?
I hope she does all the things. She's pretty great.
Right.
I hope she still has big hair. I never want to picture her as anything but her character from that show, to be honest.
She had big hair?
Sometimes. Yeah, that 90s, that 90s, late 80s kind of the hairspray.
All the way to Jennifer Aniston type of.
Yeah. Not every season, but she'd have some big hair sometimes, looking all with her skirts and shit, What the hell are we talking about? What were we?
We've gone a rig around the roll real fast.
Okay.
I miss your stupid ass.
I miss you too, man. You're far. I'm in this living hellscape, but a very nice living hellscape that's slightly warmer than yours. How is?
Oh, you mean San Jose in general?
Most of California in general. It's just like.
Oh, by the way, just to be another plug machine, the Niners won the NFC Championship tonight, which was great. But I think that they were getting a little shitty in the last half, like they were running out the clock a little bit just to be dicks. I think it showed like that they were afraid. So I have a premonition that they might not win the Super Bowl on February 2nd. So if you want them to win, you're gonna have to go look up the song that I wrote the chorus for Niner. It's called Empire. It's with Dave Heat Canales, Peter Feliciano, 49ers. You'll find it, and it's got 119,000 views right now, which is cool. But I don't see very much of any of that, much less not the money. But But at least if you watch that, then the 49ers will probably win. And so then if you share it, then I'll get more attention. And then you get better podcasts. So there you go.
When halftime show, bro. When halftime show.
Exactly.
Right.
Instead of fucking dumb Jennifer Lopez. Fuck Jennifer Lopez. She looks so amazing. Like, no, not really.
No.
She's looked like that for a long time. Just because she can look like that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like what's her face? Dumb Madonna is like, oh, Madonna's going around with like a young. She's fucking a young dancer. Just because we will fuck you doesn't mean you're attractive. Don't get a fucking head of yourself, girls. Stop.
I mean, when was Madonna ever actually hot? I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's a good. Okay, all right. Wait. Well, define hot. You mean just on looks alone, or her shitty kind of slutty attitude? Because her shitty kind of slutty attitude, like when she did Sex, or when she was in the Human Nature video.
Her music and various choreography and stuff. I'm not dissing that. I just mean like straight physically. Like if you're just gonna judge it on like a picture, I'm like,
yeah,
she's never been that great. Her shit's not in the looks; it's in the performance. So
did you see those pictures of before she got famous? She had huge bush, dude. Huge beast bush, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, she had beast bush. I wonder if you could go look at that real quick, because it'll still be recording on my end.
Well, I'm gonna have to change
on video anyway.
I'm not sure if it'll keep going. Let me try.
I think it'll keep going. I think it will.
Yeah,
I think it will. I think it will. Hot dog.
We're on. Hold up.
Did I say something true? Oops, I didn't know to talk about you.
What am I looking up? I shouldn't use Safari for this. This is not going to show me what I want. I need a Chrome.
Donna, you need a Bing. You need to ask Jeeves. Hey Jeeves. Jeeves, show me Madonna's bush.
No, bro. I'm gonna rock this Chrome Incognito tab. That's how it gives. It always gives you the goods on the Chrome Incognito.
You're gonna wanna just look up Madonna naked late 70s, maybe 80s. Just not Madonna bush.
I'm looking up Madonna nude bush.
Yeah. You see, girls, we're just more fun than you. Come on, be real.
Hold up.
Oops, I didn't know we couldn't talk about sex.
No, that's from when she had her fucking armpit hair. Come on, bro. It's like a photo gallery.
Wait a second. Oh no, am I confusing bushes? I think I'm confusing. No, wait. Are you Google image search right now?
Young Madonna nudes. Wait, yeah, no, not image searching. I'm going through. I found a link to. Ooh, that's some bush. I wouldn't call that beast bush, though.
Okay, you know what? I apologize. I confused bush. She does have bush. Here's what I want you to do. Demi Moore.
Wait. Is this another one?
Yes, because I confused bushes. I got my bushes all confused. I was confused. I was confuzzled. Demi Moore.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. That's pretty
good.
Yeah.
Woo!
I've seen that.
Like a thicket. Couldn't even see her lips.
Dude, call Jorge with the fucking call Jorge the landscaper, bro. Like, yo, Jorge, I got a job for you, man. It's a total clean out. We need weed control, mow and blow.
Simon, senor.
Dude, go handle business, bro.
That's the problem. That's the problem with like new age kind of hippie chicks is like, if you're gonna fuck, if you know you're gonna fuck, I can understand if you don't know you're gonna fuck and we start flirting, we go back to your place and all of a sudden I'm just gonna make out with him and then I'm gonna be a good girl and then okay, fine, I just don't know, and all of a sudden you're naked, and then okay, there's some bush, whatever. Even a lot. but like, if there is the class of hippie girl, which is just, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. Where they intentionally, like, I get that if there's bush up on top of the mound, but if there's bush on the lips, get the fuck, I'm gonna kick you in the face. If there's bush on the lips, I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Listen, I'll just give you a motto, okay?
What's
If
that?
it's like that, you're just like, I'll beat it, but I ain't gonna eat it.
Yeah, but see, sometimes how can you even find it? It's like journeying through the rainforest.
You'll
fucking
find it.
Attleboro. I need Attleboro fucking with a
pull out your meat machete and hack in there. Okay, you'll find it.
I feel like fucking a Brillo pad. I'm saying I wouldn't do it. I mean, I know I said I can't do it, but I mean, I can. But I'm not. I don't want to, and I'm going to talk shit about you. Okay. Did I say something true? Oops.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. Sorry, I had to let that out.
Goodfellas is such a good fucking flick, man. I have watched that so many fucking times over the last year. I don't think I ever watched it until like 2 years ago, and then I've watched it maybe 25 to 40 times. It's just whenever it's on, you have to watch it. It's a fucking phenomenal flick.
Of course you have to watch it. So you asked how I've been. I don't know. Excuse me. Still hacking up a fucking flu I had. That was great.
Yeah, dude.
I was fevering, shivering, waking up sweating. That was god awful. Luckily, I kicked like the actual sickness in like 3 or 4 days, but I was just, coughing for after that. Well, so yeah, I went and saw some people in Arizona. Got back to California, and basically immediately somebody incubated me with the flu, and then someone tried breaking into my truck, and it was just back to hell, just in general. Just like,
what do you mean someone tried to break into your truck?
What's that?
What do you mean someone did you see them try to do it? Or
well, no, there's like some damage. Like I got like a cover on it. There's like some damage to the inside little thing, and I'm like, the only way that could happen is somebody tried manhandling this thing open by the little cleat that you hook shit on the outside of it,
Dicks.
And my other truck that used to be parked in that same driveway got broken into before too. So yeah, it's just welcome back. It's just like welcome back to Cali. Just like
yeah, that makes sense.
Pay more for everything. Some fuckhead, fucking whatever, but fucker that doesn't know how to fucking put the toilet paper in the fucking toilet probably give me the fucking flu, wiping their shitty hands on a fucking doorknob. You put shitty toilet paper in a trash can. I'm not surprised if you just cough the fucking flu all over me. Like, it's not your fault. You're just ignorant.
I will. Let's play racial roulette. I just came up with it. Let's play racial roulette. I would say that would be either Mexican, white, Asian. That's what I'm gonna say for the shitty hands.
It's Mexican around here, bro.
You're telling me that the Chinese wash their hands? You watch your fucking mouth.
Dude, a lot. Dude, it depends, man. China's a big country, man. There's some dirty ass Chineses and Viets, but a lot of them are higher caste.
They have the little masks and shit. Yeah, I would say maybe of the Asians, Vietnamese would probably be the ones who wouldn't. Maybe Thai, but I think I trust Thai more because I think I like their food better than Vietnamese people.
I trust no nigga. That's where I'm at with all this. I trust
now, as far as the person who busted into your thing, I'm gonna say white tweaker, black non-tweaker.
Just hey, what's in here?
It was either a white tweaker, a black guy looking for watermelon, or I'm gonna say Mexican.
Hey man,
although I don't.
Hey
I
man, hey
think
man, hey,
Mexican,
hold up.
older Mexican though, like
No,
Mexican
hold
over
up,
30.
bro. No,
What?
no. Listen, man. I'm trying to see if there's some white females in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to lift this cover up. Man, there got to be a white woman in here. All right.
You're a dum dum. Listen, Mexican. I feel like Mexicans don't do that type of crime. They
Yeah, they
may.
do.
They
Yes,
may
they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
well, okay. No, I'm
Yes,
not
they do.
saying ever. I'm saying on the whole. We're playing Russia. We're playing
No,
general
on
games.
the whole, they do. It's funny. The dude that installed the internet here, okay, fucking black dude from Florida, right? And he was saying his shit. Him and all of his dudes that were they're like traveling to, they're all subcontracted shit, right? And so his company had them up in a hotel in fucking, what is that shit town, San Rafael up there, right? And he's like, dude, it was right next to like the hood part of San Rafael though, where all the cholos were. And he said, dude, that parking lot was just getting smashed out every night, broken windows, just all the cholos would run up there.
Okay.
No, dude, they hella deal meth and do meth. I mean, don't.
Touche.
I'm sorry.
Touche.
If we're casting shade, the Pisces definitely deserve some shade. The Pisces and cholos.
So they do. I'm just thinking like, who would lone gunman, not gunman, but like lone person try to bust open a truck? I feel like that's more black guy or white tweaker.
White tweaker, black guy. I mean, it's all the same. It's just Californians. I don't know, man. Whatever. It's like, bro, who even fucking steals anymore? Like, what are you gonna get off of that? Like $20? No, like it has to be a tweaker. This day and age, with how expensive things are, like the risk reward ratio of snatch and grabs and stealing stuff, unless it's heavy items, like professional burglars, like we know this dude has this piece of machinery that's worth $3,200. Like this is a cool $3,000 in 10 minutes. Right? Like, okay, that's different, right? But when you're talking about smash and grabs, just snatching a purse or breaking into the back of some truck, like that's got to be for dope. Like you're not doing that to pay bills.
Shit.
No bills. You're not getting enough out of. You could do that for a week straight, and you're not getting enough money to pay a single fucking bill. I mean, maybe your phone bill.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, those motherfuckers aren't paying bills anyway.
Dude, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's strictly to get some dope money, So, I mean,
and I wouldn't say that black guys are above doing drugs. Obviously, you and I know many of them, but I don't. But meth is not their thing. It seems like black guys.
No, it's not. No, they don't.
Black guys. Black guys like booze, weed, coke, but like
coke, hair. A lot of them shoot the heroin too, man.
Really?
They're out there.
Interesting. Heroin is a bigger thing in New York. I've noticed too.
Oh, the whole
heroin's a bigger thing in New York versus the Bay. The Bay is all meth all day. You know who likes meth? Who I didn't even realize, obviously, until whatever, going to some of the gatherings we go to. But the gay community loves them some meth, dude.
Of course.
Dude, I always imagine a methed out, hick, redneck, whatever, with like fucking, like Cletus from Simpsons. I never think, oh yeah, some guy who, works at fucking Macy's with a purple sweater is into fucking meth and gay sex. I just never thought of it that way.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, but meth and butt sex go together like peanut butter and jelly, man.
I do enjoy having a podcast. So you said are you getting into a mode again where you're feeling like you want to move?
I mean, I want to move. I mean, I moved into a new place. This is going to be a nice upgrade. Once everything's all set up right now, it's pretty...
By the way, as much shit as you have talked over the years about South San Jose, your area now, that's some safe shit. Stop.
Actually, it's funny you say that, right? Like it is. Like the neighbors are fine, the people here are fine, but it's high target too. Because just driving in over the last couple days, I think just down that one road, we've counted like 10, like that drive right there where you come in off the main road,
right,
into the little digs where it's like one way in, one way out kind of thing. You know that neighborhood,
right?
And like there's like, I don't know, over 5. Like kind of stopped counting, and I didn't drive every street just the way that I go, like just window shatterings, like the fucking Tenderloin, dude. All over the
Okay.
street.
All right, I get that.
Dope.
Yeah,
Because here's the
it's
thing.
like the neighborhood's safe, but that's why douchebags come in to get them because they're safe.
Well,
Their
I
guard
mean,
is down.
you feel like you're on a nice part of the South Side here, but when people don't really know the town that well, they don't know how close they are to the hood. And like I do know how close this is to the hood. This actually
Just
is,
over Everett. Is
dude.
Everett any bad?
Dude, it's right next to fucking Edenvale, you know, all that garbage on the other side of Blossom Hill, Round Table, Branham, that, you know, the other side of Monterey, basically. So if you're like right here, I mean, you're like a stone's throw, like you go across a couple main streets and there's Monterey and the railroad tracks, and you're
Oh,
over
that's
in that.
bad. Yeah.
Dude, it's just not that far.
Monterey is horrible. The road. Monterey, the city, is awful too. But
No.
like Monterey,
Yeah.
the road is
For different reasons.
Yeah. Actually, that's where I met Bridget from episode 4. She was working at that Starbucks long time ago. I think
Oh,
she's
I could use a whole milk hot chocolate right now, bro. Oh my god, a whole milk hot chocolate.
I do fucks with the whole milk. Like when it's time to get real, give me that breve, bitch.
Give me
What
the
you know
full,
about the breve, dude?
dude. Give me the full cum, dude. Give me the straight juice out of the dong in that. I want the thick shit, you know.
Right.
I want
Yeah, I
texture.
don't understand people who like smoke like lights and like, or they'll smoke like once a week or twice a week or a cigarette a day. Go fuck yourself. Horrible person.
Yeah, I've been puffing on swishers all day. No listeners, not cut open with weed in them, like just straight chugging a swisher like a dong. Just
I just felt like you would, because if there's anybody who would come on my show and say that line, Jules, look at me. Do I look like a nigger? Like that's what I just feel like that's what that next line was going to be. No audience. Do I look like a nigger? Not cut open swishers.
right.
Why is it not okay to say nigger? I don't understand.
I never said
don't
it wasn't, and I make the rules.
I know you didn't.
So.
I know. I've talked about it a lot on my show, but like I feel like this whole separation of language is like not the final frontier, but it's one of them. It's one of our big hurdles we got to kind of get over. Yeah, I don't know.
I've got to say, so this is, for any listeners that have listened to my previous episodes, I'm not like backtracking or going back on anything I've said, but you say that, and it's funny. Like I just in the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing some interesting differences. Like homie, we were talking about that installed the cable. We were talking about somehow the conversation. We were just talking some long shit, right? And the conversation of different police departments and the way cops are came up. And he's just running around doing installs on it, like working, just being a working person. Has had people call the cops on him like he's a burglar all the time. Even with his work truck, he's had cops point guns at him while he's on ladders. It was just funny, man, because we were talking. So he was like, "Yeah, dude, cop fucking pulled a gun on me, blah blah blah, like just 2 weeks ago over in this neighborhood over there." And I was like, "Yeah, that department doesn't fuck around. I think it was Los Gatos." So I was like, "Yeah, they will point a gun at you, bro, like for sure, And I was like, it's funny. I've had 2 guns pointed at me in my life, and neither of them have been from police. And right. It's just, it's a different thing. Like I kind of get the attitude of like, you don't understand. Honestly, no, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll say
right.
that I don't. Like
right.
I really don't. I've been tossed around by the sheriffs. They fucking threw my ass on the hood and did all that. I've been fucked with, I've been pulled over, but yeah, they don't go right for the gun with me. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, so, it does.
Yeah.
And I get that. I also will say, playing racist advocate, I also will say, like, I don't think that's right. At the same time,
there's reasons for it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like,
No,
he didn't maybe necessarily earn it,
No,
but
no, he didn't. That's what I'm saying though. So okay, so like I'm just saying I get where a lot of that attitude comes from. Like I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying tough shit.
if I'm walking down the street late at night and I go into an alley, on my way to somewhere, and a girl
To suck the dude's dick back there? Yeah.
right, and a girl who's 5'3", skinny, clutches her purse closer to her and like doesn't give me any eye contact, just like tries to hurry kind of, like, I get it. Is it fair? No, because I'm not gonna fucking rape her.
But life's not
unless
fair.
we're fucking. But
She's scared.
right. But like, she's scared, and there's experience is what teaches us. There's a fucking great book, Tina Fey's book, Bossy Pants. Tina Fey, I have to fucking say, I love that bitch with all my fucking heart, because even though she's feminist and she probably hates Donald Trump and hates whatever, she is level-headed about the shit. She talked about in the book how her dad is a Gold Star Republican, and because of that experience, like, she knows why he would say some of the more racist things, like, hey kid, if you see your kid or if you see, what did she say? Her dad said to her, if you see a black couple of two black kids on one bike, they stole it. And,
that actually sounds accurate. I don't know
and
if that's racist.
she
It just
said
sounds accurate.
she would feel like, oh, that might be racist, but she also said, well, experience is also a teacher. Like, this is a guy who grew up in the Great Depression, and his kids, he just, when they're in the poor in the 70s, and you buy your kid a $25 bike that you don't want it to get stolen, you're going to tell them to be extra fucking careful.
Yeah.
And you're going to let experience be their teacher as well, or your experience be their teacher. So it's like, Tina Fey is like level-headed about the shit, and it's a fucking great book. It's a fucking
Yeah, I
great
mean,
book.
when I got fucking three cholos fucking walking up behind me talking to each other about how they're gonna jump this fool, I'm gonna assume they're talking about me.
All right.
Okay? Like, sorry. Like, oh, that's racist. Like, no. Like,
You know what though? Would it be okay for you are you willing to share the stories of getting guns pulled on you?
yeah, sure.
So what happened?
I mean, both of them are fairly benign, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's just both were, of course, in East San Jose. Where else,
Right.
Well, plenty of other places. I'm just be locally, right? Extremely locally to me. Yeah. Where else do you get guns pulled on you? Like that specific part of the South Side I was just talking about, or various parts of the East Side, or maybe a splattering of a couple bad streets here and there in some other places around here. But that's pretty much it. Mostly the East Side, and that part of the South Side's basically the East Side, an extension. And anyway, so one was actually not in like a terrible neighborhood. I was walking home. I was pretty drunk. I was like 15, 16. And this dude hops out of the cuts, like out of the shadows. I'm like singing fucking songs to myself, all drunk, walking down this street. Pretty nice neighborhood on like the first foothill. And he just hops out. He's like, "Hey, man." And I was like, "The fuck? Where did you come from?" And I was like, hello. And he just whips out this big ass fucking, 45, or something. I don't know. It's street light. I couldn't really tell what it was. He was just like, so, just give it up. Like whatever you got. I was like I actually smiled because I was just like drunk, and I was like, oh dude, give up what? I was like, I will give you whatever you want that I have on me, and you're going to be really disappointed. And he was like, well, let's see. Come on. Let's go. I was like, okay, fuck. Okay. I pulled my wallet out, and it was all just like dope dealers' numbers and like camel dollars. You remember those camel dollars?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. It's shit like that, And he was just like, seriously, you don't even have a $5 bill on you. I was like, honestly, no, I got a lighter, man. I was like, what else do I got? I got this is before the days when like you had a dope cell phone. It was like, what, some fucked up brick Nokia that's like falling apart, you know? I was like, I was like, dude, that's it. Like, unless you're gonna break me for my boots, this is what I have. And he was like, I feel bad now. I was like, why would you rob teenagers? Like, teenagers don't have anything. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, he's like, he just bounced. He was like, sorry, dude. And he just like left.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, he just bounced he went on down the street back into the shadows down the sidewalk.
I had one guy at the Cottle Road light rail, black kid, come up to me. Hey man, fucking give me your money, man. I run this hood. Give me your money. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry, I'm broke. I almost said it like it was a guy panhandling, asking me.
Right.
I was like, yeah, sorry, dude, I don't
have any change on me right now.
just kind of like looked around and like went away. Like he just went away.
These days, it's like, I can Venmo you. I mean, like,
Right.
you know,
what was the other time?
The other time I was walking back from a buddy's house in a more hoodie area, and I was like walking down to get some whatever, and dude, the tiniest cholo you've ever seen in your life, fucking with the biggest attitude, tiniest cholo, right? I mean, this guy had to be like, I don't know, fucking 5'2", like.
And the
right?
that's what's the best part about those cholos is they don't get smaller shirts. That's my favorite part. They get the white shirt that goes from the neck to their ankles. They don't give a fuck.
Seriously, they're like, we're nightgowns, homie. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it in my hood.
Get your face put on a white tee.
So there's that guy, and then there's his big friend that doesn't talk, right? Then they come up behind, they're like, hey, like flip me around, grab me by my backpack. I had my headphones on and shit. Once again, like super stoned. I was tacked to the max, probably pretty drunk. I was like, yeah, like, may I help you? You know, like, who the fuck are you? You know, I hung out in that neighborhood all the time. You know, I was like, who the fuck are you? You know, they're like, you know, like, give me your fucking money. I was like, I don't have any money. Or like, give me your fucking weed. You smell like weed. Give me your fucking weed. You know? And I was like, how about I don't give you shit, homie? And he fucking has to jump to punch me in the face, right? And so he jumps up. It was the most disrespectful thing I've ever had happen to me in my life. This little person jumps up, and he jumps up. He fucking cracks me as hard as he can in the face, but he's got no power because he wasn't on the ground. He had no hips, and it was just like an arm flailing in the air. I didn't move at all, and I was just like, I smiled because like I wanted to just drop the backpack and just like treat this guy like a fifth grader. Like I wanted to just like pick on him, you know. And then his big homie was like, no, and like flashes his fucking gun out of his jacket, and I was just like, oh. Okay, like his big homie, I think knew I was just like, fuck this little nigga. I'm gonna fuck your shit up, you little faggot, you know? And his big homie was like, no. And flashed his gun out of his jacket. And I was like, yeah, man, the weed's in the backpack. Here, take it. And they just ran away. And then I was kind of like, dude, there ain't shit in that backpack with some school books I'd ever opened. I had like all my cigarettes on me and my weed and my boots. So I was just like, fuck you, fucking tweaker ass niggas.
Right.
So that was both instances, you know, fairly benign, just people trying to jack people, you know.
Right.
And it's just like that was back in. I mean, this was like 2002, 2003. You know, it's a long time ago. Where if you came up on a $20 bill, it was like woo, right?
Right.
Yeah, now it's like if you like, I'm just putting myself in their shoes. Like if I rob somebody and I got a $20 bill, I would just be like, gee, fucking here, have it. Take your fucking $20 bill back, bro. Like I'm Jesus, you know, trying to get a hundo at least, right?
I need Snapple money, bitch.
Dude, I gotta support this fizzy water habit, you know.
Oh, I am fucking dying tired.
Yeah, we did this kind of late. I'm sorry, man. It's moving and
No. Hey, dude, I appreciate you doing it as always. Maybe I'll have one more cigarette and then I'll go.
Yeah, let me go light up.
All right.
You have any topics you want to?
Well, there's obviously the more like, for those who understand, who have been on this or who have witnessed Jake episodes before, know kind of what's going on. But like, there are the other topics that I know that if we got into, they would take way too long, and we just can't. You know, the more crazier kind of conspiracy theory type of stuff. Not that you're a conspiracy theorist, of course. I would never dream of labeling you that way, sir. But you know, that type of stuff. You know, like the Iran shit and the fucking. Here's one thing I'll mention. Even though I'm also, you know, I'm conservatish. Like, I think Trump. Did you follow any of that Iran Trump shit?
Kind of. Give me two.
Just where like this one motherfucker that they killed Soleimani a few weeks ago.
Like, yeah, my theory on that is, I mean, they killed him while he was in Iraq, not in his own homeland, right?
Yes.
And we kind of have claimed that bitch since like the early 90s, right? Like, that's our hood. Iraq's our hood. That's where we run, you know, shady oil and guns and whatever we do, right? Like, we run that bitch, right?
Iran is more in Russia's pocket. Iraq is more in ours.
It's always a proxy war with Russia, by the way. Okay.
It's always a fucking proxy war with fucking Russia. And the brown people in the middle are they stupid? Or are they like, I mean, let me rephrase that. The governments aren't stupid. But the motherfuckers on the ground who are mad about death to America is like, are you fucking, come on, dude. You know what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro.
The problem with Russia is not that they have any like real reason to be existing anymore, but that their people are so beaten down that they're willing to join militaries and, you know, shoot fucking nuclear missiles and shit and be a superpower only because their lives are so shitty.
Baby.
You know I'm right. Don't get mad at me.
I'm gonna
Russia fucking sucks a dick in hell. If your main food is cabbage, eat my dick. You fucking cocksuckers. Oh, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, why can't Russia? I don't know. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, it's different cultures, right? So they have different values, right? Like, you say Russia's shitty because, you know, they don't act
poorly and they drive fucking Buicks from fucking 1950 and they listen to shitty techno and spray themselves with Axe spray and fucking, you know what I mean?
Like, it sounds like you just described half the neighborhoods in America, though.
No, I did not, Nick.
Yes, you did.
You know what I mean? Worse than Axe. They dip themselves in the worst like they're better than the Indian people who do that shit or the Middle Eastern people who do that shit, because at least the Russians shower. The Middle Easterns don't fucking shower and then they spray themselves with Axe. Like, be fucking real.
So, but here's the thing.
Yes,
so
sir.
they've got different values there, right? Like, you go, they're shitty because there's no, you know, movie theaters, 7-Elevens, and good places to get chicken and rice or whatever, right? Like, they're like, we're not shitty because we're not fucking gay like you guys. Like, we're like human beings still and have like pride and.
Are they though? What fucking comedy do they fucking possess? I'm talking comedy after. I mean, you know, the stories that Yakov Smirnoff talks about were, you know, obviously that was back in Soviet times. But like, even now, what fucking export do they have culturally besides fucking skinny white dancers and strippers that they send to us? Which I'm grateful for.
Well, here's the thing. You can't export. a lot from Russia, and they can't import a lot from Russia because
I'll rephrase that. I'll rephrase that. I'm sorry.
we
You're
don't
right.
let them. So
Right, but not import or export. Produce.
yeah, now you kind of got to go there to find their shit, except a couple key items, right? No, it's no, that they're very serious, dire people. You know, that's what I'm saying. They have a completely different culture. Like I definitely don't think they hate their culture. I think there's a lot of bad shit there. There's a lot of ghetto there. There's also a lot of like fucking wealth there too. But
Right.
most of it's just, you know, your sort of typical oil war. Like if you had to tell me, like if you had to ask me the question, name your favorite current world leader, I'd actually say Vladimir Putin all day.
God damn it! You're the. What in the fuck?
I would say Vladimir Putin all day.
All right.
That is my favorite current world leader.
Please explain. Please explain. Now, favorite. What do you mean?
That's
God
too.
you agree with? I'm sorry. What do you mean?
That's too long of a conversation. Is he okay? So he's basically the only one fighting back, like that has any like nuts that pushes back against what I see culturally is like the dissolution of all tradition, effectively. Like we're all just like whatever, you know, fucking ass. That's cool. Fucking forget your history. Just wipe that out. Just stare at your phone all day. You know, just like this sort of Western commercialized sort of, you know, fantasy life that we live in. That's just like letting go of everything important for the current material, carnal wants and desires being fulfilled. And he's like, you know, out there like telling the priests to like, you know, bless the missiles with holy water and shit. You know, like he's a real nigga, you know, like he's not fucking around.
Okay, but
No.
is a piece of that type of shit in order to placate his people or pander to his people?
Oh, well, of course, but he's also that dude. Like he was OG, you know, like he came up in the game, like that presidency basically got handed to him by someone else, and I kind of like that too. Like I'm not really into all this voting stuff at the end of the day. Like it was cute for a while, but like it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Okay, well then how do you let me say they were unhappy with Putin? What the people who have been unhappy with Putin have been fucking shot.
Well, yeah, because they know it's too serious of a game. So they're like, oh, you're not happy. You're going to make a big stink. You don't know what the fuck's really going on. You got to go. You're not that important, you know? Because he holds shit down. Like, they would be fucked right now if it wasn't for Vladimir Putin. You think they're fucked now? No. Everyone is trying to fuck Russia in the ass and has been for a long time. And fucking take more of their territory, fucking sanction them out of shit, and then have their, you know, he'd have some scumbag, basically Western, like we have in America or Western Europe, some scumbag Democratic leader in there selling off their fucking country to global corporations to go mine all whatever resources they have left and take over all their oil distribution and just turn it over to corporations instead of giving the profits back to their people. So
okay, but he's not giving profits back to fucking people.
Well, no, but he's keeping the system going. Like if you actually look at Russia from the time Putin's taken over, he's actually hugely popular there, by the way. So the position was basically handed down to him from the guy before him that kind of started getting things right after the fall of the Soviet Union. That was like, okay, shit's starting to turn like this. Maybe this isn't going to completely fall apart, kind of thing, right? And people are like, wow, okay, this guy's great because we're not all literally dead right now. We didn't starve, hooray! Right, like real problems, real world problems.
Right.
And then handed it off to Putin, like this is the successor. Effectively, is what happened. And it's gotten better and better and better for them. Like if you look at what they can actually purchase in their country with their money, you know, things are on the up. Now it's still terrible compared to the kind of quality we live, but it's just better. That's what I'm saying. It's just different. You can't look at it through your viewpoint. you are looking at it falsely. You're looking at it wrong. You're looking at Russia wrong if you're looking
No,
at
I
it
don't.
through your eyes.
I don't think I am, because there's certain things that are objectively, not subjectively, objectively great. Financial autonomy is pretty great. Now, let me rephrase that. When I'm saying some of these things, I am not saying that America doesn't have a problem with financial autonomy. I'm not saying that America doesn't have a problem with crime and bullshit and being led around by the dick. But I am saying comparatively, stop. Some things are just objectively fucking awful. Eating cabbage.
They're not allowed to have financial autonomy from us. Dude, sanctions up the ass. Can't do this. Can't trade that with Russia still. Yeah,
Nigga, fucking
us and all the NATO.
Putin kills fucking journalists. It doesn't matter if it.
Dude, I wish somebody around here would start killing.
You're the worst.
He knows they're fucking slime. You know what I mean? Like he handles business like a man. He does what needs to be done.
Okay.
How many times have you thought, oh my God, somebody needs to just fucking shoot Rachel Maddow in the face?
Well, not exactly. No, not exactly.
Okay, well, in the leg. How about in the leg?
Okay.
Somebody needs to shoot Rachel Maddow in the leg, right? Well, he's the dude that's just like, somebody needs to shoot Rachel Maddow in the leg, and then does it. You know?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, also, he fucked the bank. That makes me really happy. He fucked the bank. He also made sure a bunch of economy stayed in his country when a bunch of the like oligarchs and that were in bed with the lawmakers are trying to like sign off a bunch of their shit and like outsource a bunch of their shit. He basically walked in the room and was like, yeah, you're not doing that, or you know how things go around here. And they were like, oh, okay, yes, boss. Yes, sir. Okay, all right. No, you don't want in on this? He was like, I don't need your fucking money, dude. I fucking run this bitch. I don't need your money. I got whatever I want because people do what I say.
I'm gonna ride around on a horse without a shirt.
Yeah, he's like, I'll ride a bear, nigga. Fuck your money, right?
I'll ride a bear, nigga. Fuck your money. I'll ride a bear, nigga. Fuck your money. It's gotta be the best sentence ever said.
See, he's just a different type. Like, you can't buy that man. How's that?
Okay.
You cannot make him move. Okay?
Okay, but there's a difference between good on him and I would want to live in Russia. You wouldn't want to live in fucking Russia.
No. It is my last resource of go-to. If like the entire world starts falling apart, I will run to Russia for refuge. Because I do believe that Daddy Putin will protect me. I'll be like, Daddy Putin, I am a good Christian boy. I promise I will not talk about politics. I will not vote. I'm here as a guest. I'm here for refuge. I'm not here to tell you anything about what you should do or how your culture should be or how you should run your country. Now think about the difference there that I just said, how my attitude would be compared to people that come here. Okay?
Valid.
Okay.
But what about the gays? What
about them? What about
nigga?
The gays?
They're not allowed to be fucking gay. That's not good.
That used to be the entire planet for thousands of years. How's that special? Dude, you're talking about like an ultimate, like, oh, this is just the way things are. It's like, dude, that's only been for like the past like 40 or 50 years.
Listen.
Here, okay.
I'm at least he's not.
Okay. By the way,
or one of those other
in the United States of America,
countries that are killing fucking gays, but like, if he could be all like, okay, Christian values, blah blah blah. Oh, and it's we won't put you in jail if you're gay.
Here's the thing. So in America, I forget when this law changed. I think it was like the early 1900s or something. But you know that sodomy in most counties was punishable by death, right?
Right.
That's in America, land of the free, right? Constitutional rights, right? I have a right to be free. It was like, well, no, but if you're fucking dude in the ass, we're going to hang you, right? So
I don't remember the death penalty, but continue.
It was a law that wasn't strictly enforced, but that's what the piece of paper said was
Okay.
It can be punishable by death. So anyway, yeah. What about I'm sorry. They hurt. Oh, okay. Like, that's just not on my mind as the most important part of making society good is that gay people are catered to. Like, I don't really give a fuck.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying catered to. There's a difference between catered to and hey, we're gonna.
Because he knows how they are. Because you kind of I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying this against any gay people as individuals, but gay people as a community. Like, you give them a fucking inch, and all of a sudden they're telling you how to fucking decorate your house. Like,
that's humans in general, and I get that.
No. Now we need more rights. Okay, you're not going to put us to death for fucking other dudes in the ass anymore. But now we want to get married in your courts and shit all over your. So, no, now we want to adopt kids. Now we want, like, it's never enough, and he knows that. He knows how they are.
Oh, okay.
He knows how they are.
Pause,
okay.
Pause. Yes. Okay. See, this is a tricky thing, though. God damn it, this is a tricky thing because if we were setting up, say you and I lived in Russia and we're now Putin, you're telling me that you wouldn't want gay people to, you know what? I'm going to sanction marriage.
Eastern Seaboard immediately.
And that's what we're doing.
I'm just kidding.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, live how you want to live, but we're going to live by Christian values, but also, yeah, it's okay, fine. You can fuck who you're actually attracted.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure that's, it's one of those things there.
I know that's what's weird about these conversations with you, because I know that you love gay people, and you're not above diddling a peen from time to time either.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So the difference is, but do you let that start affecting your whole culture? Like, they have bigger problems there than are the gays comfortable. Does that make sense? That's what I'm saying. If you look at it through your lens.
Okay, but there's a difference. What kind of fucking, like, it could take 2 seconds to say, all right, gay people are cool, whatever. Now let's get back to fucking making more cabbage and rape porn. Like,
because that's not part of the, once again, that's not part of their culture. They're not individually free like us. They're like, no, that's wrong, don't do it. Where we're like, nothing's wrong, nothing.
Okay, so if Namibia was part of their culture, was to say no whites allowed, you would kind of be all right with that objectively because it's the country's prerogative.
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't want to go there anyway, but yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do think people should have the right to make their own fucking laws and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
That's their land.
Exactly. That's where I'm just confirming for the people who are listening and for myself. That's why I know where you're coming from, is the states' rights shit. And I get that. But
you just tell them, you do. If they're like, no whites allowed, this is not white land, we don't want you here, I'd be like, thank you, I'm not welcome, I know not to come. Okay, done. We already conquered like so much of the world. I've got so many places I can go.
If you hadn't,
dude, like,
say you're fucking born there, nigga. Listen to me. Say you're fucking accidentally born in Namibia, and you're fucking white ass Jake. All of a sudden, you're gonna tell me we're now putting down the law right now. You're in the middle of Namibia.
They're like build a wall, deport them all.
In order to enforce that, we're gonna start killing motherfuckers.
They're like, build a wall, deport them all. Well, honestly,
do you be that much defending of states' rights?
Yeah, life's not fair. Like, that's actually more like mob rule than states' rights. Yeah, it's like, dude, shit turned for the worst. Get the fuck out. It's like, dude, we gotta go. We have to leave. In fact, I probably wouldn't be worrying about whether it's fair or not. I'd be worrying about, dude, these niggas is gonna kill me, dude. Like, I gotta go.
But is it right?
I mean, defining right and wrong.
No, nigga. Getting your fucking shit, getting your backpack stolen at 3 o'clock in the morning by a couple of methed out Mexicans ain't fucking right. And no. neither is kill all whites in Namibia, and neither is fucking you're not allowed to be gay in Russia. There's just right and there's wrong. I'm not the type, you of all fucking people know that I'm not the type of motherfucker say fuck states' rights or fuck Christians
Well,
or
here's the
fuck
thing. Well,
Christian.
this comes down to like a deeper thing, though, right? So you're like, it's not right to tell people to not be gay in Russia. That's an opinion. That's a sexual action. It's not like we're gonna fucking kill you if you don't move out because of the color of your skin. Like you're talking about like completely different values. So they're like, you're a human being, just fuck women. Like it's just a different view on that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Some motherfuckers are born as gay. That's some science shit. That's not an opinion.
Yeah, and that sucks if you live in a country where you're not allowed to be gay, but I mean it's not the end of the world. Like you'll be all right. Like you'll live and eat food and jack off and stare at dudes' butts and all that. You know, you'll be okay. You'll get by.
And quietly try to finally find some sexual pleasure, and then if you get caught by the wrong nigga, you get fucking in prison. Right and wrong does exist, you piece of shit.
I mean, okay, well let's drag this out on the sexual proclivities thing, right? So let's, okay, I got a sexual proclivity to, fuck animals. So I'm sneaking onto dudes' farms.
All right, but it's not the same thing.
I got a sexual proclivity to, pound 6-year-olds in the butt. It's just my sexual preference. Okay. I didn't make my
but you also know it's not the same thing because of consent.
I know. But
Okay.
Point being, did they make themselves like that? Did they want to like little kids?
Okay, but there's treatments you can do. There's things you can do. There's actions because you can't. Maybe even if you're born. I've had this conversation with people on the show. I think if you were born with the desire to fuck kids or fuck a goat, and that's therefore adversely affecting other motherfuckers. Yeah, let's snip your balls, or let's give you some saltpeter, or let's put you in therapy. If you've actually done it, let's put you in fucking prison. Let's separate you from the general public and deal with this. You know what I mean? And if we can't deal with this, hey, you know what? At the very least, here's a place to live and a cot and a fucking TV and some cigarettes, and you could just live out your life here away from kids and goats. Right. But like that's where I think the real fucking libertarian angle is, and that's where I fucking come from when it comes to that type of shit. I don't want freedom to the point of affecting other motherfuckers, but I want freedom when it comes to shit that don't affect motherfuckers. Now I understand the argument, you give a mouse a cookie, and we are definitely seeing that in some ways now, but that's kind of humans in general, and that chaos finds a way. Evil human give a mouse a cookie will happen no matter what, but that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like obviously black people and civil rights in the 60s, 70s, like that was valid. Where we are at now, where people are wanting to take away words and wanting to screw people's lives because they said nigger 30 years ago, like take away their jobs and cancel them. Obviously, that is the perversion of that good idea. But that doesn't mean that the idea was bad in order to not get it perverted and have to deal with Twitter.
Have to deal with Twitter. See, like, just, yeah, no doubt. I mean, just the frame of this is just different, though. Like, I'm just looking at a big zoomed out view of stuff, and like everything you just said about like put the pedo over here, like that. Well, that's the same way they view sodomy in Russia. They're like, just don't be gay or move somewhere else, or just don't do that. I don't care if it's a problem for you. We just don't want it to turn into a problem for us. See the difference? They're like,
are you sure that that's where they're coming from?
Yes.
That they don't want Twitter wars or drag queens.
No. So okay, so
they don't want to give a mouse a cookie, is what you're saying.
So basically, you've got to look at Russia as kind of the last bastion of an older European culture. Okay, so in Europe,
objectively, sorry, thank God we got the fuck away from. So that you and I could eat Hot Pockets and fuzzy water. Continue.
So this is kind of tying back to the pedophile conversation, though. Okay, so back in the day, in the long, long ago, which was the same reasons we had the anti-sodomy laws in America, was it was just culturally known for, thousands of years that, yeah, like we kick gays out of the community or we execute them because they always end up having a lust for younger, barely post-pubescent boys or younger. And that's they found this link of sodomites and pedophilia, and they don't want their kids getting raped. So that's basically that's the deal. It's just that's culturally what it was.
That's okay, culturally what it was. But was that correct culturally? No.
Well, there's some numbers. I don't think you're going to want to be honest enough to.
No, I
challenge.
Hey,
I don't think you're going to challenge.
There are a lot of straight motherfuckers.
Can you hear me?
Fucking
when you're.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think you're going to want to actually look at these numbers because it's going to challenge your beliefs and personal freedom and all this stuff. But
I can look at numbers all the time.
You can go ahead and do a little research on links between, the gays and pedophilia, and that kind of spreads, right? So you can't reproduce, but the idea is reproduced by wanting to be passed on still. And there is a lot of strong. Okay. I mean, the numbers are bad actually. So when you go and look at the numbers of links between sodomy and pedophilia, like it's not gonna feel good.
Gay sex,
yeah,
homosexuality and pedophilia is what
you're gonna feel bad. It's
okay,
not gonna feel good.
But
you're gonna go. Okay, this is ugly, and this sucks, and I don't want to think about people this way, and I don't want this knowledge.
But you know I'm not closed-minded. What
No,
are you
you're
talking?
not. But nobody wants. Like, I don't want to fucking think of people this way. It's just sometimes shit just stares at you in the face.
Right. I agree with you. I go back to the black statistics thing I was talking about earlier. Black people on the whole are doing a lot more fucking murder. Most of the time to black people, valid, but a lot more crime. Does that mean in my head that the end game is to outlaw blacks or put them in prison or put them in anti-theft training school? No.
Anti-theft training.
You understand what I'm saying? I think that correlation absolutely does exist. Does that mean that the end game is black people are inferior in my mind? No. Do I think that maybe there is some more in that? Okay, sure. I'll look it up. I'll find out. But I also know that a lot of fucking straight motherfuckers like to fuck, young girls. Pedophilia is rampant in the straight world as well. So it's like, what is the end game? The end game being valid, right or wrong, objectively valid, right or wrong.
Okay, so point being, they viewed that as a source because the numbers on people that diddle kids generally were diddled as a kid, and et cetera, right? That's kind of like this pattern. It's just kind of like passing it on, if you will.
Right.
And they understood back in the day that the sort of source of that was coming from. It's almost like, okay, so I didn't want to talk about this for like 45 fucking minutes, but
I know, dude, we're already a half hour past what I said I was gonna
listen. It jumps down in ages. So when I said, okay, I'm trying to think of the actual word that's used for a younger gay that's not a kid, but like 13, 14. Okay, so that ends up being sort of a target audience for older gays when there aren't age laws. Okay. And then those are a lot closer to like 10-year-olds in age and sort of this in-between point. And it just it's actually not a direct, I'm not saying like a 40-year-old gay is like, sexually activating a 6-year-old against their consent. It's more this, it passes down. You can read up on it. So they understood this fairly well. And there's also a religious aspect to it, of course. And they were just like, yeah, you're out. And then obviously anybody that raped some little girl, I mean, they were dying too. Like we used to just eliminate problems like that from society before we had these beliefs and like individual rights and freedom and stuff. Like these are all
Right.
pretty new.
But the eliminating of that out of society didn't work.
It did. There wasn't a lot of that.
Nigga, people are fucking there are lots of pedophiles all over the place right now.
Because
that
we stopped
didn't
killing them. If we were killing them, they wouldn't be here.
No, nigga, it's not that. I think okay, here's another thing. Crime is going down in America. Okay?
Not around
Whether
here.
you want to call it it's because everyone's on their phones. Like, okay, yeah, there's some give and there's some take, but crime is fucking going down. Rape, murder, it's all fucking going down.
Because we've been in a bull market for 11 years. Like, yeah, there's economic factors here. A bull market means the market's going up. Yeah,
no,
there's economic factors.
Talking about since 1990. If you look at the murder rate of 1990 versus the murder rate in New York City, 2019. I looked it up the other day. It is literally multiple digits more. I think it was
when you're talking New York specifically, yeah, Giuliani cleaned that bitch up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Giuliani cleaned it up.
Right. Culturally, things shift and things get better. But
sure, I mean, also they were doing shit like stop and frisk there. They were like enforcing shit. Like cops were out doing stuff. They were like locking people up. I mean, they like were working, like doing
more than.
So
but it's more than that. Things are getting better, and I feel like people, all as ugly and weird and fucked up as we are, we're also getting better as a people.
I don't mean the exact opposite. I would say we're getting way worse. Okay. We're getting maybe a little less gritty or grimy in your face, but like as a species, like long-term trajectory.
And okay, when in medieval times, if you didn't believe in the right God, they would lower you onto this thing that was shaped like a giant, like a human-sized. I'm not sure if we talked about this pyramid onto your anus and lower you and lower you and lower you to torture you, and most of the people wouldn't die because of the actual horrendous bodily damage, but they would die because of the infections because they didn't wash the pyramid.
Right.
So I think we're getting better. That's objective.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. If that's like your one measure, sure, but also like it's not my one measure.
It's a measure.
It's kind of a trope too, though. It's like, they. Like, okay, first of all, define they, define where, define how many. Like, was this some weird religious sect that happened to have dominance? Like one sect of the Catholic Church that happened to have dominance, and this one. Like, don't tell me. Don't try to tell me that all the farmers out in the plains of France were just finding their pagan. Yeah, they were just like, oh, my pagan neighbor across the river who's not a Christian. Oh, I'm gonna pyramid your ass, bro.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
That was not that was not a cultural thing.
Right.
Okay? There's no cultural precedent for that being a thing.
How much leeway are you willing to give society in getting better or getting worse in your view?
In so many ways it gets so much better. But in so many ways it gets so much worse.
Agreed. Okay. And how much leeway are you willing to give humanity for trying to figure this out as we go along?
I don't think anyone's trying to figure anything out.
I think the Me Too movement is a good example of that. When we swung too far and fucked Louis C.K. out of a job, now there's been, when James what's his face got fired from directing the sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, and then there was a backlash from people going like, okay, we're all rah Me Too, but we also, you're going too far, and Disney backstepped. So I think we're pendulum, as stupid as that sounds, pendulum is a valid argument. I think that it's valid to give us some leeway when it comes to how we're figuring things out.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think, like, once again, I don't think there's any concerted effort to figure stuff out. I just think there's always a balance that's going to get found. And when you say that, swinging too far one way, it's almost like magnetism. It's like physics in a way. Like shit's gonna figure itself out, and that's kind of the problem with going too far. Not to say I'm a moderate in any way, shape, or form, if anybody couldn't tell, but if you try going too far in any direction that's too far away from nature, right? And I don't mean individual nature. I mean like big fucking picture human nature. If you try going too far in any direction, like it's going to snap back. Like it might look like coincidence, it might look like fortuitous happenstance, but shit will snap back. And Russia, back to the Russia thing, is a prime example of this. So in their nature, what had been ingrained into it, or what they had evolved into over the course of 1,200 or 1,300 years or whatever, was radically changed during the Bolshevik era, right? And what ended up happening was, even though Christianity was more or less illegal there, right? And all kinds of weird shit was like enforced law, basically trying to destroy their native culture, right? Trying to break them down as a people. What happened was, when the empire fell, Stalin started reinstating some traditional stuff and giving people kind of their country back, because he wasn't like a Bolshevik. He was whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But when it fell, the church was back. The people, they never really lost their culture. They just kind of kept it in hiding. Like you couldn't really break it. That's just who they were. You couldn't really break that out of them, and it just kind of shifted into this weird governmental propaganda of like this weird mishmash of whatever they got going on today, like proud of their Soviet heritage, but it's just kind of like a tagline. Like it's not like they're proud of like the Bolshevik laws and trying to destroy their culture. Like they're back to the Orthodox Church. They're back to, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't snap them out of it. Like they snapped back. They snapped back to, I don't want to call it capitalism, but dealing with markets and the realities of numbers, and dealing with incentives and workers' incentives, and trying to make people work together as a society would naturally flow based on incentive. They snapped out of communism, right? Because it's not natural.
So why aren't you willing to give them that same? Why aren't you willing to give Russia that same leeway when it comes to not killing journalists and letting gay people fuck? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they snap back?
I would. Well, once again, this is.
I know you would, dumb, but I know you're trying to continue.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm defending Russia not letting people be gay. Like I'm really just saying like they just see it differently, and I don't really give a fuck. It's probably that simple. Right. Okay, and here's all the reasons why, if you want to get into details, but I don't really care. If they would let people be gay, go ahead and let people be gay. The killing of journalists is a much more touchy subject, though, right? So Putin is kind of like the right-wing Stalin, effectively, is how you could view Putin. Like a kinder Uncle Joe, right? More of a right-wing Stalin. And yeah, their history when it comes to dealing with propaganda and political dissidents is very violent. And that's kind of bred into them. And if you want to say, Russia,
right?
Today,
but I'm allowed to say, fuck that. Like, okay, because
first of all, which journalists were killed?
Oh, I don't know.
So you don't know, but they're killing journalists, because
I know that they are.
Because some journalists like lying to people. Some journalists like spreading around shit that's fucking nasty. How do you think our culture got to be all fucked up and weird? Go ahead and trace that back, bro. Well, I read this article about non-binary fucking gender and how the white man like all this shit comes from the media. The media is what pushes out information. Okay. And so it is the responsibility of government. Like, I really don't believe in a all out, completely no holds barred free press. Like, that's dumb. Right. I believe in the freedom of, people being able to, disseminate information, but it turns into a propaganda machine over the decades, where it's like a little drop at a time. You could just completely changed the way people think. And like, you can say it's, oh, we're evolving as a culture. It's like, no, you're being fucking brainwashed from your parents down to you. You're being slowly changed and metamorphosized into thinking a completely different way from a very small group of people.
But
And
I will
it's mostly
agree.
in academia and media. And like, if you put me in
Mostly
charge,
men who aren't men, like a bunch of whiny little.
well,
If
if
they
you
are
put
men,
me,
they're in tweed jackets.
yeah, I mean, like,
But I will go back to
if you told me to fix America right now, you said, Jake, fix all this weird social shit that's going on in America, and everybody all confused and worried about stupid shit instead of living their lives and enjoying and smiling at the sunrise and just being people and trying to be good to each other. Like, everybody's fucking, we have so much luxury, but we're arguing about transgender bathrooms. Like, talk about first world fucking problems. You're arguing about indoor plumbing, right? Like, think about, let that sink in, right? Okay. So if you said, Jake, fix this, I would just go, okay, we're going to go lock up all the professors and we're shutting down all the media sites, all the news stations. Everyone's gone, complete fucking blackout, informational blackout. We're redoing our entire education system. We're going to re-propagandize our people, because you say it's free. It's like, no, it's just free market propaganda. You're just being propagandized by whoever wants to get the position, right? It's not like it's true information just because it's not the government giving it to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would shut down the universities, and I would absolutely, lock up all the journalists.
Okay, but I go back to your own point by saying, and I'm going to really actually finish this. I'm going to smoke a cigarette, and then I'm going to go inside and go to fuck to bed because it's 2:42 in the morning. But I will go back to your point. Your point was, in a way, how bad is it really? And we're figuring it out along the way. It corrects itself. I think that even if the media got so bad that I wasn't just shadow banned or I had and they would just come after me, I kind of trust that, okay, I think it'll be all right. Like, even if I get fucking killed, but I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, maybe in a couple decades, but
Right.
Right.
But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I kind of feel, and maybe this is just my outlook, you seem to have more of a pessimistic outlook, and that's valid, whatever. But I kind of feel like when it comes to that wave and when it comes to that pendulum, I like being the guy to push us back the other way and be an asshole and be a stick in the mud to help us. And then when we get a little too far this way, I like being that guy to help us move with that. I like that shit. And I have bones for it. And even if that means I suffer for it, I'm okay with that. Even when I complain about it. But I also feel like that natural penduluming is happening. Isn't that your kind of the natural penduluming is kind of happening with us?
No, sometimes it happens unnaturally. Like, I actually think stuff will get, I think there's like small waves, right? Small corrections. But
right.
Long term, like, it's usually more violent and terrible and sudden when it really does correct itself. Like, it's usually due to crises, like actual crises, not like slow, gradual, like figuring shit out or whatever. Like, it's usually like bad things happen and then it gets sorted in the aftermath. Which I don't want to happen. Happen. So I'd rather it's more responsible. Like, when you're like, like, well, we'll let the pendulum swing and nature will correct itself. It's like, well, like, how many times do you want to let that happen before you just go, okay, we just saw this happen 50 years ago. How about we don't do that?
Valid.
Right.
But I also have a lot more faith in level-headed American humanity.
Yeah, I don't at all.
In that, but in that, when you look at media or when you look at stupid Joe Rogan, is a perfect example. Joe Rogan has more viewers and subscribers than any CNN, any Fox News, any show. Like, they have any news show with Joe Rogan. for a good reason, because Joe is good at what he does, and because people are smart enough to understand context. Even though Joe, you shouldn't have defended Louis C.K., or you shouldn't have done this, or you shouldn't have Yang on, or you shouldn't have this person, you shouldn't have that person. Like, Joe's an adult, and people are adult enough, the adult ones anyway. Even when they get mad on comments or whatever, they're shitty on social media. But when you sit them down, sit them alone, even when they have wild ideas, it's all right. It's not that big a deal. People understand. And Joe Rogan's uh, thick viewer stream is a good example of that, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, fair. I mean, you can see that with plenty of stuff. It'll be preference. I mean, to be honest, when you only had a few options, though, you kind of believed what you could get your hands on. Like, you just didn't have access to information. Now it's different. Now it's not like everyone's not just automatons running around like, I believe this because somebody said it. Like, now I can absorb the propaganda of my choosing.
Right.
In America, at least.
Right. You're looking at it from a perspective of an evolutionary all the way back. How's humanity doing? Right.
Yes.
When I don't think that's our job.
I mean, fair. I guess it's definitely a difference in like a time frame perspective. Like, people are like, oh, well, it's better than it was. Like, you're saying crime's better than it was in like 1990. I mean, like, I'd snap back with, yeah, that shit was terrible. You should never let a civilization get to being that raunchy. Like, that's there. Where's the law and order? Like, there should be enforcement. There should
Right.
be, you do whatever has to be done to protect the community, even if the actual actions themselves look ugly. Okay.
Right. When I've talked to the New Yorkers,
right?
Every New Yorker I've talked to who was actually here likes Giuliani for that. They don't like him now sometimes, but
Right.
every single one is like, man, Giuliani fucking cleaned up. Thank God he did that shit.
Right. And point being, why would you ever be so laissez-faire and, whatever, libertarian or whatever you want to call it? Probably not libertarian. That's not the right word for what happened in New York. But yeah, like, why would you ever let it get that bad? Oh, well, people are just people and people are having a hard time. Yeah, well, tough shit. They shouldn't be doing that other stuff. I don't care how hard of a time they're having. That's unacceptable.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, like, I'd look back. But I also look at it like what I do in my life is not, for me, like, if I don't do something that has some little water droplet ripple effect impact, like,
Sure.
at least 100 years after I'm gone,
Yeah.
then what the fuck was the point? Because the people that came before that did all this stuff that had this ripple effect to allow me to live and have my life, like, that shit meant something. They did things. Right. They went on. They carried forth. Yeah, so I definitely look at it as like a bigger multi-generational thing. I look at it as like an organism moving through time, and not so much as like.
And in that space, I absolutely agree. So what if we lose a few journalists? Like, so what? Like, if it's for the betterment of the organism, I get that. But I also kind of feel on a micro scale in our lives, what we're responsible for is, yes, we vote, but we also have our little cul-de-sac. And on a human basis, respecting that animal that we are, I feel that people can be trusted as long as they have filters,
Yeah, no doubt. They should be, but you only have a society where you can have that trust when there is some understood underlying culture, right?
Right.
Like,
which is what religion was really good for. It was our filter to help us kind of stay on the beam.
Correct. You're not constantly moving people's idea of who other people are and what could happen and what other people believe. There's kind of like a baseline understanding, and that's where keeping culture together comes in, and we're having some traditions comes in. There's this baseline understanding and commonality, So anyway, but you asked about the Iran thing before we got to that, so I'll loop back to that.
Real
I mean,
quick.
whatever. Raindrop, drop top, look up in the sky, nigga, pop, pop, dude. You got dropped. Man. Like you got blown the fuck up, dude. Eye in the sky shit, dude. You got nailed. You know.
Yeah.
And so here's
It
my
sounds like
thing.
he was a cunt anyway.
Well, of course he was. And I mean, I actually like Iran for some reasons, more just spitefully, like almost sarcastically, like Iran, right?
Mm-hmm.
But more like because I'm into like, ancient Persian culture, and I like studying all the ancient Hellenistic culture that used to be there, and whatever, all the different Persian Empire way before that, and Sumerian history, the legends and all that shit. I nerd out on stuff like that. Like stuff like that's way more interesting to me than like modern politics. I'm like, what, a bunch of fucking defense contractor, corporations trying to renew contracts and fucking make millions of dollars. Whoop-de-doo. Like, what's it? Like, what's really different? Like, what's really different about it? Like, we're never getting out of the Middle East. Like, stop it. Of course, we're going to go to war with Iran, and then Russia's going to flex, and then we're going to have some armistice, and like, just of course we're going to do that because you open Pandora's box. George Bush opened Pandora's box. We ain't ever leaving, bro.
Right.
And the second we try to leave, we're going to go back in. Something's going to drag us back in. We're going to be back in there, man. So anyway, I hope Iran stops flexing, though, because that would be a terrible war, dude. I mean, that would be really bad. But I'm just saying, most likely, now that this has happened, it'll probably just sort of keep getting worse. Now, will you ask me the question in passing, who would I wage war on if I was president?
Go ahead.
First day in office, I would blow Turkey to fucking smithereens.
What? What are those? Who are they anyway?
Oh,
You
dude,
like
I just take.
You don't like tryptophan?
No, I just want someone to reconquer Istanbul and name it Constantinople again.
Because you like that song?
No, it's just the centuries old, religious gangbanging. I'd just be like, what up, bro? No, we back in the neighborhood. Yeah, blew your shit up. You're out. I'm gonna hand it over to Putin. He'll rename it Constantinople. We're gonna make it Christian land again. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Go south again. Get out. So I'd blow the fuck out of Turkey, dude. I'd blow them up.
Yeah, the biggest or one of the bigger issues I have with all that part of the world is the Democrats acting like they're all fucking victims just because they're browns. Like, you know what? How many brown? How awful that those fucking countries are to their people. Fuck you.
It's just a very childish way of thinking about things.
Yeah. Anyway, I am freezing to death, and I gotta pee, and I gotta sleep.
I have to pee so bad.
I like how we did an extra hour. That is fucking amazing.
It's not hard. My legs hurt. My feet hurt. Everything hurts. I'm gonna pee and lie down.
You're my sweet boy.
I love you, Poppy.
I love you. Thank you very much for coming on the show, dude.
For sure.
You're my sweet ham.
Anytime.
Let me quick plug my stupid shit. And I'm gonna do it for all you YouTube listeners while I do a dance for you.
Oh Lord.
Make sure you go and subscribe wherever you're listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate and review. Make sure you leave a comment wherever you're. I like my late night dance. Subscribe. Make sure you find me on Instagram, Peter_Feliciano. Make sure you find my music. My album is really fucking good, and it's out really right now. Just look it up on iTunes and wherever, Spotify. Do we have anything else? Oh, support this podcast at patreon.com/conservatish. Make sure you look for a new episode every Monday. And I love you all very much. And thank you again, Jake, for coming on the show.
For sure.
Bye, everybody. Good night.